So macros, let's just get right into it. I'm going to start by talking about my night instead of my first thing in the morning, because that's kind of when my day starts, so to speak. So as soon as I take my last bite of food at night, I open up an app called Zero. I've told a couple of you guys about it, but basically it is like the most user-friendly intermittent fasting timer app. And so I open up Zero and I hit, like as soon as I swallow my last bite of food, I hit start timer. The cool thing with Zero, it's completely free. There is a pro version to it, which you can upgrade to, and it'll give you insights into what phases of your fast you're in, and some more information, but honestly nothing you can't learn online. So I just use the free version, and you can set your fast that you're doing. So you can set whether you're doing a 16-hour fast with an 8-hour eating window. Right now I have mine set to an 18-hour fast with a 6-hour eating window. So I hit start timer. The reason that I love doing this is because it gives me clarity on my fast. It takes the guesswork out of my timing, because then I don't have to think about what time did I start, what time am I done. It literally starts the timer for you, and then it will project when you're done with your fast for the day. So say I started my fast last night at, I think 6:45 p.m. So I'm done today at 12:45 p.m. Anyway, so as soon as I'm done eating at night, I start my timer. Go through the rest of my evening, all the way to the morning. First thing in the morning when I get up is I have my coffee. And this is definitely a taboo area for me because I love my coffee creamer that I use in the morning. I put my coffee cup on my scale, I tare it to 0, I add my 45 grams of coffee creamer, fill it up with coffee. There's a lot of controversy around what breaks your fast and what doesn't. Technically, I think my coffee with the creamer does break my fast. But in reading about intermittent fasting and learning about it, something I read that resonated with me so much is you're already doing so much. You're already committing to an 18-hour fast or a 16-hour fast or whatever it may be, that this one little thing that has 12 grams of carbs in it, in the big picture, isn't going to destroy all of the good that you did with your fast. So that, I was like, okay, I took that and I ran with it, because my coffee first thing in the morning, I go to sleep thinking about it, I wake up thinking about it. As soon as I'm done drinking it in the morning, I start thinking about my next morning cup of coffee. And for me, that wasn't something I was really willing to let go of when it came to fasting, because it's such a huge part of my day. And it's the little things that make us happy that we really need to hold on to as parents, as mothers, with young kids in the house. So my coffee stays. So I drink my coffee, but besides that, I don't eat anything. I don't break my fast with anything that I'm chewing, that I'm swallowing. I just stick to my coffee and drinking a lot of water. So as it gets close to time for me to break my fast is when I would plan my workout. And so today that's at 12:45, so I would typically try to start working out by like 11:30, 11:45, whatever time I can get it together, so that by the time I'm done working out, I'm close to break fast time and I can have my ginger and turmeric drink followed by my protein. So I take my supplements, I drink my ginger, turmeric, and my protein. And that is like, as soon as I put something in my mouth that I'm swallowing, I open my Zero app and I end timer. So that saves my fast, I'm done with that. No more thinking about fasting, now I'm on to food for the next 6 hours. The next thing that I will usually do is I go into my protein bar. The way that I track my macros is I use my MyFitnessPal. There are other macro tracking apps out there. I think one of them is called My Macros. There's another one that's just called Macros, but I use my MyFitnessPal just because I'm already familiar with it. I've used it for quite a few years now, and I just feel comfortable with their interface, with how it works. So in order to use MyFitnessPal's macro tracking options, you do have to pay for the premium version. I was just talking to someone about this yesterday. For me, it's totally worth it. I paid for the year in advance. I don't think about it again until, Apple tells me it's time to renew, and then I just renew it for the year, but I use it every day. And it's one of those things where if it's something that is, you're investing in your health, you're investing in your well-being. And so for me, it's, however much for the year, I just pay for it. It helps me with my health and wellness. And so for me, it's worth it. So I open up MyFitnessPal, and you have your homepage at the top. You want to go to Diary, which is on one of the bottom left buttons, and under Diary, it will pull up your day. Now, I mentioned in my other video about my journey with intermittent fasting and macros is I did hire a trainer to set my macros for me. So she took into account my age, my height, my weight, my sex, the fact that I'm nursing, and so she gave me a set number of carbs, grams of carbs I eat per day, grams of fat, grams of protein. So the first thing I do in my diary is I add my breakfast. Now, you can work your diary for the day. You have sections for breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, your workouts, and your water. You can use those sections as you like. Because I technically don't eat breakfast, I just put my coffee into my breakfast. So I will tap under breakfast, I will tap add food. I will open up the barcode scanner and I will scan my coffee creamer, add it as my breakfast. So I use 3 servings. I think it's like 12 grams of carbs, and that's my breakfast. So going into lunch is where I usually put my protein and my perfect bar, which is technically what I eat for lunch. So I've talked about perfect bars before. I've put them on my story. I love them. I just absolutely love them. They're so delicious. The ingredients are so beautiful. They're so clean. It's sweetened with honey. You can find them in the refrigerated section at your grocery store, and that's pretty much kind of the same thing with my coffee. I think about it. I look forward to having it. I can't wait to be done fasting and done working out so I can eat one every day. So besides my protein, that's usually the next thing that I'll have. As soon as I feel a little inkling of hunger, once my protein is in me, I will eat my perfect bar. So I put that in the lunch section. You can either do something like that, your protein and your snacks. You can put that into snacks. I put it in my lunch just because, I don't know, I've been doing it for so long now. Okay, I had to take a brief intermission for a meltdown, a diaper change, getting snacks, but I'm back. So before I get into my dinner, I want to touch on something really quick that I think might be helpful for anyone just getting into macros, intermittent fasting, whatever it may be. So I'm going to potentially coin a term right now. I do what I would consider to be lazy girl macros. Lazy girl in the fact that I buy a lot of things that are easy for me to scan and easy for me to put into my FitnessPal. You can go the extra step of creating recipes, making a full meal using, let's say you're making soup, right? You can weigh out all your carrots, weigh out all your onion, weigh out your butter that you're gonna saute your vegetables in, or your coconut oil, whatever it may be, weigh out your meat and create a recipe in my FitnessPal, and then divvy it out into ounce portions and have a full meal showing your macros, your proteins, your fats, your carbs that are within that meal that you made. For me, right now in my life, again, with all of the kids, with the speed that things go throughout my day, I just haven't found the time to put into doing that. Sometimes I do if I'm feeling, like I really am craving, soup, or I'm craving like a quinoa beef bowl is something that I'll make sometimes, or, like a chicken stir fry type of thing. I will do that, but it happens very seldomly that I do something like that. So the thing with buying like prepackaged foods or, things that are easy to scan is those things can be more expensive. The way that I justify that is I'm not eating for 18 hours of the day. So I'm getting all of my meals in such a short amount of time that what I would have typically, used to eat in, a 12-hour window, I'm eating in much more compounded meals now. And so for me, it's worth it to just go buy the perfect bar that costs $1.86 because that is my whole lunch. So with the Lazy Girl macros, I am buying things, like I said, that are easy to add, easy to account for. All the macros are right there. I don't have to put a lot of thought into it. And for anyone who is a mom or who works or who has a very busy lifestyle, it might be an easy route to go until you're super comfortable with, where you are, until you're really in a good groove and you feel like you can, venture out and start creating recipes and making, bigger meals. So that being said, with my dinner, I've been getting these Home Chef meals that are at my grocery store. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of Home Chef, but they're these they're called Heat and Eat. They have a chicken parm one that's really good. They have a Sunday beef pot roast that I've been really enjoying. And so I've just been popping one of those on a tray in the oven and heating that up and eating that for my dinner. All of the macros are right there. Again, I don't have to think about it. So once my meal is in, I think for the purpose of this video, I use the chicken parm one. I go ahead and I fill in the rest of my macros to suit what I already know I'm eating for dinner. So one thing that I love, and I show in this video, is I get these mini naan. I think the brand is Stonefire. I get them at my grocery store again. They're super easy, and I make like an open face sandwich. So I'll have one of those, or two, depending on how many carbs I have left in my day. I'll have one or two of those, and I make an open face like deli meat sandwich. I love Boar's Head brand is like the only brand deli meat that I ever buy. Deli meat's really good for protein because it's super easy, it's low on carbs, low on fat, and the protein amount is really good when you're on a high protein diet. Easy, you don't have to think about it too much. So I take my naan, I use light mayo or like low fat mayo, just because it doesn't taste that different honestly than regular mayo, and it saves me some fats for other things in the day. So I will put my bowl on a scale. I will add my 15 grams of mayo or however much I'm using, and then I add Cholula sauce to it. Mix it up, and it makes it like a spicy mayo, which is really good. Spread that on my naan, and then I add however many ounces of lunch meat I'm using. So I usually do like 2 ounces of Black Forest ham, 2 ounces of ever roast chicken. I'll use like 50 grams of tomato, top it with a slice of Swiss cheese, a couple cracks of black pepper, stick it in the oven, and I kind of like grill it open-faced. That is one of my favorite lunches, and probably the only meal in my day right now for a while now that I'm having to like weigh food and use my scale besides my coffee. From there, once I have that meal in, I usually have a decent amount of protein left and some carbs and a little bit of wiggle room for fat. So what I've been doing is making a little chocolate protein shake smoothie. So I will get out my NutriBullet, I'll fill it up with some ice, add some water, put it on my scale, tare my scale, and I will add in my protein that I'm using, sometimes some collagen peptides, which collagen peptides are really good, not only for the health benefits, your hair, your skin, your nails, but also because it's strictly just protein. So if you're finding yourself stuck with like, oh my gosh, I have so much protein and nothing else left at the end of your day, collagen, I always have to like remind myself that there's collagen because it's like super low on calories and it's just protein. So let's say I use, half a serving of my protein powder because it does have some carbs and some fat, but I still have protein I need to hit. I'll add in a half a scoop or a full serving of collagen peptides. It'll hit my protein goals for the day, and then I can move on. So the other thing I will add is banana, and that's pretty much mostly carbs. There's a little bit of fat, tiny bit of protein, but banana really just adds a lot to a smoothie. As we all know, it makes it creamy, it makes it sweet. So I'll add some banana, and that's pretty much it. That usually fills up my macros for the day. I think that's what I used as an example in the video that I am putting in here. So that's kind of my full day. So starting with my coffee, into my protein and my perfect bar, jump ahead to dinner, make sure my dinner's locked on, and then I'll fill in the gaps with that non-open face sandwich that I make, because that's, again, super easy. It's all just in my fridge. It takes me like 5 minutes to throw together, and then I fill in the gaps with some sort of protein shake, which I look at as my dessert. So I hope that some of that was helpful and, kind of easy to understand. But if anyone has any other questions on tracking your macros, on how MyFitnessPal works, I can't really speak to any of the other apps because I don't use them. I've always just used MyFitnessPal. I'm happy to answer them. You can just message me on Instagram. But yeah, I think that's it. I tried to keep this video just strictly to macros. I'm happy to go into other things like, supplements that I take and, my workouts if anyone's interested in that. But just let me know and I will kind of see where this takes me. I actually got a lot of awesome feedback on my journey with macros and intermittent fasting, so thank you to everyone who reached out to me. It was honestly a huge leap for me to take. It made me super nervous to put myself out there like that and to like sit down and film a video of myself talking about this, because I don't know, people can be judgmental, and it was just a super huge leap for me to take. So thank you for everyone who did reach out to me and give me the confidence and the courage and the boost to make another video, to continue putting information out there. It really means a lot to me. So anyway, I'm gonna leave it at that. Thank you so much for watching this. And yeah, okay, I have to go get my kids and take them on a walk because that's what they've been asking for.